I'm very intrigued by animals in general, probably because I never had pets growing up, but I've always been especially interested in endangered species. Um, so since discussing all of Africa's endangered species would take a sadly long amount of time, for my topic I'll be specifically focusing on pangolins. I'll be discussing globalization, population growth, and the intertropical convergence zone. Pangolins are insect-eating mammals and are especially unique because of their exterior of tough, overlapping scales. There are 4 pangolin species in Africa. As you can tell, they span a variety of climates. However, you may also notice that the northeastern boundary of their habitats coincides with the intertropical convergence zone's southernmost reach. Africa experiences dry winds in the winter and wet winds in the summer. In the northern hemisphere's summer months, the ITCZ moves northward because the sun is hitting the northern hemisphere and increasing insolation there. When the ITCZ moves northward, West Africa then experiences the southwesterly winds, which bring moisture from the Atlantic Ocean. However, the ITCZ moves southward during the southern hemisphere's summer because the sun is hitting the southern hemisphere and increasing insolation there. So during the northern hemisphere's winter months, the ITCZ drops southward and northeasterly winds are blowing across West Africa. The Harmattan refers to these cold, dry northeasterly winds blowing off the Sahara and carrying dust across West Africa toward the Atlantic Ocean. Since the pangolin species in the southern coast of the western part of Africa are the species that appear to live in moist climates, according to our map in the bottom right corner, it makes sense that they wouldn't risk it by moving northward into any area that would be highly affected by the Harmattan. A major issue endangering the pangolins is habitat loss. In areas where human population growth is continuing to accelerate, there just isn't as much room for the pangolin species that prefer the same climates that humans do. This is part of why the pangolins in drier areas, although still very vulnerable, are not quite as endangered as the pangolins in moister climates are. When considering Africa's population pyramid with such a young, growing population, given that Africa has experienced massive population growth in the last few decades and in the next few decades is expected to almost double its current population of 1.3 billion, it's easy to see how pangolin habitat loss is such a threat. Another major issue endangering the pangolins is poaching. As globalization increases, illegal markets also become more widespread as basically everything is within reach. There are actually also 4 pangolin species in Asia, but they are so extremely endangered that poachers are now targeting Africa for pangolin meat and scales. Although pangolins are protected species in China, there is still a thriving Chinese black market for the meat and scales, further intensifying the threat of poaching in Africa. The scales are highly desired in traditional Chinese medicine, as many people believe that the scales can promote breastfeeding and even cure cancer and arthritis. In reality, the scales are simply made of keratin, which is the same material as human fingernails. So hopefully we can turn things around so that these rare and unique animals can remain part of our planet for as long as possible.